Hello there, welcome back to my channel. You may notice that my lips are looking a little bare, and that is because we are going to be doing a lip swatching video. BK Beauty just launched a whole line of lipsticks and lip liners, and they were so sweet to send me the entire collection. So I'm going to try all of these on my lips. I'll also show you some hand swatches. We'll talk about the formula, the pricing, the packaging, and all of the information that you will need to know in case you're interested in making a purchase. If you're new here, be sure you hit that subscribe button, and now let's get started. Let's first dive into the lipsticks. So as far as the packaging goes, this is the outer box. It's beautiful. It is that light, kind of peachy pink shade with rose gold writing. On the end of the box, it has the color of the lipstick with the name. And then the actual lipstick itself, I am so impressed with. This is a very weighty tube. It is a metal tube, actually. It has the BK Beauty logo on the end, and then of course the shade name. This has a very strong magnetic closure, and then the lipstick bullet itself, I love what she did here. She sized it down and put it at an angle. Now this does a couple of things. First of all, it keeps that perfect shape to help you apply it to your lips, but also because of the way she shaped it, your lipstick is not going to move a lot within the tube. If you've ever had a lipstick on a hot day in your purse and you open it up and it starts hitting against the edge of the container, you're not going to have to worry about this. Now there are 3.5 grams of product in this lipstick, which I pulled out a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, and it is the same amount of product. As far as the formulation goes, it is infused with apricot oil, which is supposed to be moisturizing and nourishing. These sell for $22 each, or you can buy the whole set of 5 for $90. So that works out to be $18 each. Now on their website, it says that they are creamy, long-lasting, and packed with pigment. And I think as we go along, you're going to see that that is true. So let's get into some swatches. All right, this first shade is called Inner Beauty, and it is described on the website as a neutral medium pink. And I would say that is a great description. On my hand, you can see a little more of the warmth behind that pink, and as somebody with a warm undertone to my skin, this is typically kind of the pink tones that I gravitate towards in a lipstick. And we'll talk a little bit at the end about how long wearing these are, so stay tuned. So now let's go into the next shade. Next up is the shade Self Love, and this is at the opposite end of the tone of pink as the previous shade. So this one definitely has the cool undertones. On the website, it describes this as a pale pink. I would say it's a little more of a mid-tone pink, but it is a true, almost like a Barbie pink. On my hand, swatched next to the previous shade, you can see the tone difference. And I did these two side by side purposely. So this one is great, especially if you have cooler undertones to your skin. This is going to look a little more of like a natural pink on you. On me, this is definitely one I would pair with more of a brownish lip liner, or maybe something deeper. On its own, this isn't typically a color that I personally gravitate towards, but it is a beautiful, true pink shade. Next up, we have the shade Acceptance, and this is described as a beige nude pink. And you can see it's lighter than the previous shade, and it's also a little back into the warmer undertone category. This, to me, I would say the description is really right on. Beige nude pink. So it's not a brown nude. It definitely has pink, but as you can see on the swatch here, there is just a little more kind of neutral undertone. And as compared to the first shade, you can see that the depth It is much lighter than that first shade, but I would say the undertone to those two is very similar. So this is, to me, like one of those really easy colors that you can just throw on for every day and walk out the door. And especially if you've got warm undertones to your skin, I think you'll really, really love this shade. Next up, we have the shade Kindness, which, by the way, I love all of the shade names that she did for these. I think they're wonderful. So Kindness is described as a peachy nude, and I would say, yes, it is. It is definitely peachy. So you're not gonna look at this going, is it brown? Is it pink? No, it's definitely peach, but it's a really pretty shade. I would say this is something I personally love to wear in the spring and summer, or paired with more of like a deeper brown lip liner throughout the winter. But it is a beautiful shade, swatched next to the previous shade. I'm glad I did it in this order because you can see this one is more of the beige nude pink. So you can see the pink versus the peach. And this is a deep enough peach to where I don't feel like it really overemphasizes texture or dryness on the lips. It's just deep enough that I think it makes it wearable. And the last lipstick is the deepest shade, which is called Passion. And this is described as a deep pink. And I would say, yes, that is a great description. I personally love that she chose to go deep pink rather than red, but for you red lip lovers, don't fear, there is an option coming for you in the lip liners. But I think so many times your typical setup of lipsticks is pink, nude, peach, red, right? And so I just find this to be a very unique shade. I feel like even though there is a good amount of color and there is some brightness to it, it's still so wearable, and it's a color that I would actually gravitate towards wearing, especially if I'm wanting just a little more color on the lips. But as you can see with the rest of the makeup I'm wearing today, it doesn't require more blush, you know, it's not washing me out. So I just think this is such a beautiful shade, and they're swatched on the hand. You can see it just has enough of a neutral undertone to it that I think it just makes it much more wearable than your typical deep pink lipstick. All right, let's move on to the lip liners now. There are 4 shades of lip liners, and the outer packaging, the box, is the same color scheme as the lipsticks. And then the lip liners themselves are that same peachy pink shade. They all have the color of the lip liner here on the outside. I love that because if you have more than one and you're digging through your purse, you're not having to squint to see what color it is. So I love that little added touch there. And then these do have a very strong closure, a very firm snap, which is really essential to keep these from drying out because they are an automatic lip liner. Now, right off the bat, you can see she also angled the tip of these lip liners, making it different. And I actually don't have one exactly like this in my collection. It does remind me a bit of the Buxom lip liners. These are also on an angle, but the Buxom ones are a little bit bigger than the BK Beauty, but the amount of product in the Buxom and the BK Beauty lip liners is exactly the same. So you're getting 0.35 grams of product. And again, it is a twist up, but you can also twist down, so that is nice. But it's a firmer twist up, which I also love because that means it's not going to be twisting down on you as you're applying. Now, because of that angled tip, it really does apply really nicely, and you're going to see that in a moment. These retail for $12. They are infused with shea butter, also vegan, cruelty free, and on the website it just says they glide on like a dream, keep lips soft and moisturized, and they are of course richly pigmented. So let's go ahead with the swatches now. This first shade is called Sweet Pea, and it is described as a rosy neutral pink. And I would say, yes, that is a great description. It is a pink lip liner, which ironically, I feel like is kind of hard to find. Many times a pink lip liner ends up being either very brown or very warm, and this is a true pink. And the swatch on the hand, you can see there is some neutrality to that color, but again, you are seeing pink come through. Now you saw that I filled in my entire lip. You can wear these just alone without a lipstick, and you're going to get more of a matte finish on your lips. They do glide on nice and smoothly, but I can tell it will dry down and set in place. Now, I will talk in a moment about the longevity of wear of these lip liners, but as far as application goes and how they look on the lips, I think they're beautiful, and that fine tip really does allow you to just lay that liner on the edge and draw your line. So if you struggle lining your lips, this shape I think is very user-friendly. So again, this is Sweet Pea. Next up, we have Pink Lady, and oh my goodness, do we have some brightness here. Now this is described as a coral pink. I guess I could see that because there is some warmth to this pink for sure, but I would say on the lips and in the swatch on my hand, for me, on my skin tone, much more pink is coming through than any kind of orange or peachy tones. So it is a beautiful shade, very bright. So for me, I would be wearing this probably with a kind of frosty gloss over it just to tone it down, or paired with a lighter lipstick, but it is a beautiful tone. And I do love that she really kind of introduced some interesting colors in these lip liners. They're not just all nude. They are colors that you can use to transform nude lipsticks that you might have in your collection, or these other nude lipsticks in this collection. Next up, we have Warm Spice, which is described as a warm peachy brown, and this is my comfort zone. I love a shade like this. This definitely has warmth, but it is a neutral kind of tan shade. You can see compared to the other two shades, it's definitely more brown and more warm. There is some peachy tan in there. I would say it's definitely a little bit deeper and not quite as yellow as Spice Lip Liner from MAC. So if you're familiar with that, but I love a shade like this because I feel like this makes just about any lipstick wearable. So again, this is Warm Spice. And last but certainly not least, we have Alter Ego, and this is described as a deep red. And I am not one that normally wears red lipstick too often, but this shade is beautiful. You can see, I mean, it makes your teeth look white, and it's just, it has a little bit of some neutral undertones to it. So to me, I feel like this is a really good in-between. It's not too blue, it's not too warm. It definitely looks like it has a little bit of kind of cool brown in there. And I just think this is a beautiful shade, just all on its own, but this would also be lovely paired with a lot of different lip colors. You could just kind of make a brown lipstick look slightly kind of berry toned or reddish toned for the winter. So I just think this is a beautiful shade. Again, this is Alter Ego. Okay, so to finish out this video, I went ahead and applied a combination of the Warm Spice lip liner combined with Inner Beauty lipstick. So as you saw the swatches, you can see that there weren't any exact matches of lip liner and lipstick. And I like personally that Lisa did that because I feel like it does give you more versatility in your lip combinations without having to buy the whole set. You can buy a lip liner and buy a lipstick and you can have multiple color options. So I love this combination. This is a combination I wore yesterday to test it out. And honestly, as the lipstick was going on my lips, I was saying to myself, oh, this is not going to be very long lasting, because it just, you can feel that rich moisture going on your lips. And there is that little bit of kind of shine initially. And so I thought these are gonna slip and slide right off my lips. I had an appointment and I thought, oh, well, let's just see what happens. And I kid you not, 2.5 hours later, after drinking water, eating a protein bar, I looked in the mirror and I still had my lipstick and lip liner on. Now, the one thing that will wear off is the shine factor, and it will almost like dry down and sink into your lips a little bit more. So it almost starts looking more like a matte lipstick, but it was not uncomfortable. I do feel like you need to kind of continue to reapply this through the day if you want that moisture factor to continue to be with you throughout the day. But otherwise, the colors are very long wearing. Now, as far as the lip liner goes, I did a swatch of all of them on the back of my hand yesterday, and I let them sit for quite a while, took pictures, all that. And then I went back and drew my finger through them, and they all smudged. And I thought, oh no, they're not very long wearing. But then I went to try and rub them off, and I don't know if you can tell, but I still have staining left on my hands. So even though it will wipe off, it still leaves a lot of pigment left. So as I was swatching all of these lip colors for you just now, my lips were starting to get rather red and dried out because I did have to use quite a bit of effort to get each color off. So that says a lot. I do agree then with her description. They are very long lasting, long wearing. I did not have any troubles yesterday with bleeding past the lip lines. And that is something that if you saw my recent lip video, you know that I struggle with. So all in all, I think Lisa did a fantastic job, from the packaging to the formulation to the color selection. I know it's only 5 shades of lipstick and 4 of lip liner, but I feel like this was a good start, and I can't wait to see what other colors she adds next. As always, I will leave in the description box below a link to the BK Beauty website and a list of all of the colors. I do have a 10% off discount code. Feel free to use that or not. But thank you as always so much for watching. Be sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.